What's up guys, this is Cobus. This is the making of behind the scenes video for the Quadrum series. You'll see that I'm standing in the same place where I was at last time when I filmed one of these videos. It's because I want to show you guys where in the building I am this time. I'm not in the green room anymore. So if you watched the previous video, you'll know that I was in this room for the 101 series. That's not where I recorded the Quadrum series though. I took a room way at the back of the building. This is the DW warehouse. Across the street is the DW factory, but this is the warehouse. And I took a room way at the back, kind of turned it into a recording space, and that's where I tracked the Quadrum series, so come check it out. So as you can see, this is way at the back of the building so that I didn't bother anybody. Check it out. So that's it. This is pretty much the room. This room started out as a storage space, so definitely not a drum recording room. My kit was set up, I was kind of practicing in here. Adam's kit was set up and there was a ton of other stuff lying around. So I took a lot of time, spent very many hours to get the room cleaned up and vacuumed and clean. Laid a carpet and then I boarded up all the windows so that it can be as dark as possible in here so that we can have as much control as possible with the lights inside the room. Also, got some help with some drapes, which made a huge difference. That's what we did, and I think it actually turned out really good. Yeah, let me talk you guys through the kit. This is the same kit that I used for the 101 series. It's a different configuration. It's kind of my new configuration. These are all standard sizes, Performance Series Sapphire Blue kit. And the sizes are 14-inch snare, it's a 14 by 5.5, 8-inch rack tom, 10-12 rack tom, and then a 14-inch floor tom, and then a 22-inch kick. Yeah, I really like this configuration. I really dig it. It was a lot of fun to play, and this is kind of my new setup. I veered away from the 16-inch floor tom and added the 8-inch tom. And then in terms of cymbals, obviously all Sabin. Love this lineup. This is the first time that I used this configuration of cymbals in any kind of my videos. I've used some of these cymbals before, but this is the first time with this whole setup. So I'm just gonna run from the left to the right. On this side, we start out with a 20-inch HHX Legacy ride, which I use as a crash, but it's actually a ride. Hats, Artisan 14-inch. Gorgeous. Then stack one of two. So it's an HHX 12-inch splash on a 10-inch HH China Kang, I believe. This is the first stack. I've used this many times. I also pair this with a second stack, which is a lot higher. And this is a 6-inch AA splash on top of an 8-inch chopper. A lot of guys ask about this. I think it's because it's a kind of an interesting sound that not many people have heard before. And the reason why I have that strange looking stack on this kit is because I wanted the second stack and I wanted it to be higher than this one. And so I got the chopper from Chris Stanky at Sabian, beast of a guy. The note was a little bit short though, so in order to elongate the note, I just added the 6-inch splash on top of it. And it sounds really good, I really like it. On this side, I have an 18-inch AAX Explosion Crash, which is the one on my left-hand side. And on the right-hand side, I've got the 19-inch HHX Extreme Crash, which is a beast. Then I also have this HH 8-inch splash. And then for the ride, 22-inch Omni AAX. It's a crash ride, so it sounds like a crash and it sounds like a ride. If you guys have played some crash rides like I have, you'll know sometimes crash ride is a compromise in either way. It sounds like a poo crash and it sounds like a poo ride. So you don't get either, but with the Omni, you totally get both. If you've heard this thing live and if you've heard it on recordings, you'll know what I mean. And then a 19-inch Paragon Chinese cymbal, or China cymbal, which is Neil Peart's. It's actually his personal cymbal here at DC. It's not mine, it's DC's. He uses that when he comes out, which is quite surreal. Oh, actually, that brings me to something that I forgot about. Another snare that I used is Neil Peart's snare, which is the Snakes and Arrows snare, which is 14 by 6.5 instead of 5.5. And I used that on Critical Acclaim, because I wanted a slightly deeper snare tone. And I love the way that it sounded. So Neil's China and Neil's snare was used during this series at stages. That's crazy that I get to say that, but yeah, that's the way that it turned out. In terms of heads, all Evans, obviously G2 clears on all the tom tops. So 8, 10, 12, 14, G2 clears on the tops, G1 clears on the bottoms. I've got Genera HD on the snare top and a Hazy 300 at the bottom, EQ3 on the kick, and then just the standard DW resonant head on the other side. Really like these. You guys will know that I kind of alternate between G2 clears and G2 coated sometimes, but for this session I chose to go with the clears, and I really enjoy the clarity and the tone especially on the Performance Series kit. Sounds amazing, sounds gorgeous. So in terms of hardware, 9000 double pedal, 9000 two-legged hi-hat stand, 9000 rack system, which is custom cut. Same rack that I used on the 101 series. I've got a DW airlift throne, 9000 snare stand. Yeah, that's pretty much it, eh? Really enjoy the kit. This is my favorite setup so far. Adam Coons is the guy that helped me with that. He played a really big role in changing the setup slightly. Also moved the crashes. So kind of a big change, but yeah, this is by far the most comfortable I've ever been on the kit. I really feel like me changing my setup over the years has been progression, which has been great. I feel like it's become more and more comfortable, which has been awesome.